been a couple days for an update because it's been kind of slow, tedious, boring work that's not worth recording. The transmission was pretty rough. Basically wire wheeled the entire thing. Dremel tooled the parts I couldn't wire wheel. And was thinking about trying to get it shiny, but then ended up opting for a black paint job on it. So it's all ready to be resealed and have a shift kit installed and be ready to go. And then I pulled some stuff off the frame in the front, started grinding on it to get it ready to just chassis paint as I go along. So it's just been boring stuff that I can show in a minute, but nothing worth recording. But today marks the start of an exciting section, the Crown Victoria front end swap. So tonight I'm just going to try to get a little bit ready for it, and it's a Friday, so hopefully by the end of Sunday, if we don't have it in, we have a pretty good idea of what's going on with it. So the next several segments should hopefully be Crown Victoria front end swap 1, 2, and 3, 4. Hopefully not more than 4, but we'll see. So at some point, I might narrate just what you need for the swap minimally, kind of summary thing in case you're not familiar with it. I might do that later, but I might forget, so I'll do it eventually. So I guess I'll show you what I have accomplished in the last couple days, which will seem fairly minimal, and then start getting into the prep for the front end swap. The first time we saw the transmission, it was kind of almost this color, but in a bad way, because it had inches and inches of just nasty grime and grease everywhere all over it. I bolted it up to the engine stand, which is a bit of a task, but just grinded on it for about 2 days. And then I gave it a couple coats of high temp black engine paint and a couple coats of gloss. Before that I did the pan as well. I don't know how much you can see in the odd lighting, but the thing is pretty sleek and black. Taped off all the screws and everything. So it was a lot of work, but it's a pretty sharp end product that no one will ever see. And there we have the gasket set, the kind of overhaul kit, which we're only going to use parts of because apparently to open up that transmission you have to either be a madman or a badass, and apparently sadly I qualify as neither, which is kind of an ego blow. But we're just going to take, you know, some gaskets and seals out of it and then try to tackle this. Maybe it's really scary. It's a shift kit for making it work better, but it takes a little bit more getting into the transmission than anyone here knows how to do, so we'll see how that goes. Up here on the front end we have taken the bumper off temporarily just to get in here and grind a little bit, but I'm just going to try to get the frame cleaned up so that whenever I've got it all taken apart like this, I can go ahead and put some chassis paint on it. Nothing super fancy, just better than what it was, and it was really pretty gross, so there's a lot of, see on the floor, there's just a lot of weird crap that was on there that's now gone. Now we're going to shift gears and get into Crown Victoria install mode and get this thing ready for it. Okay, so this mess is about to get attacked. We want to cut the springs off and drop all of the main components, the twin I-beam, out and leave these top brackets up here because the holes that are in them give us a center point for where to mount the new front. But everything else has to go. We're going to take a little bit more detailed measurements than that just to have everything, but eventually this entire crossmember goes. Motor mounts we have to measure to make sure they will have to come out for the install, and then just everything about this, the brakes, the steering, everything has to come out. So what I'm getting ready to do is jack this up, put it on jack stands back there behind where the front end connects so that everything's up in the air so we can cut it out and drop it out. think we're gonna go ahead and cut these springs out of here so that we can get all of the arms and everything off. Springs are out. Now what?
Get them steering arms and stuff you took loose, get the brake lines off of it, you're going to lose brake fluid.
Get to make some nice soup on the floor again. Where would you go first? There?
Do your pitman arm first. Pitman arm is this one right here. Right off your gearbox. Pull the cotter pin out, pull that castle nut off, and use the ball joint splitter.
Okay.
If I don't have a tie rod splitter, and just your biggest hammer you can handle.
Okay, we ran out of daylight because we went in to eat some pizza. But we have the front end basically cut out and ready to be completely removed tomorrow. So I'll try to carry this light around and see if I can at least give you a peek at it. Of course, tomorrow it'll be out in its glory in the daylight. So, springs cut out, and then cutting in the correct places to make it to where in the morning all I have to do is go up underneath there and take a bolt off back there, and one over there on that side, and just roll the front end out. And then I'll be able to paint up the chassis, and then we can get that Crown Vic front end put in hopefully this weekend.